Hello, good afternoon once again. We are in session 3 of Unit 2. In session 3, we are dealing with less participatory and more participatory methods of teaching, or teaching methods. Less participatory and more participatory teaching methods. At the end of this session, you should be able to explain with examples what is meant by less participatory and more participatory teaching methods. In less participatory pedagogy, the teachers are the main authority figure in this kind of model. Students are generally viewed as empty vessels to be filled or empty vessels to be filled. They lack capacity to make meaning on their own. So the teacher does everything. It's the spoon-feeding kind of teaching. Their primary role is to receive, or the student's primary role is to receive the information through lectures and direct instructions with an end goal of testing and assessment. It is the primary role of the teacher to pass knowledge to their students. So in this case, all the teacher does is pass the knowledge to the student. The student does little or even do nothing at all. Teaching and assessment are viewed as separate entities. Teaching is separated from assessment in this kind of pedagogy. Another point is that student learning is measured through performance on tests. It's only tests that determine whether the students are learning or not. That's for the less participatory kind of teaching. Students are not actively involved in the teaching and learning process in terms of making suggestions, verifying whether a given answer is correct or not, and do not share the making process. The effect of this approach is that students tend to feel bored in the class, come to the view of mathematics as a subject that has no meaning. That's how they see mathematics. They see it to be a subject that has no meaning and find the classroom threatening. Because the subject has no meaning, it just requires memorization. They just memorize. Because they participate less. That's why they will say that whatever you teach in the class they understand, but at the end of the day, they cannot produce what they are saying they have understood because the participation was low or the participation was less. In a more participatory pedagogy, teachers and learners play active role in the learning process. The teacher plays his roles and the learner also plays very actively. Nobody is passive under this kind of model. The teacher does not serve as a sole repository of knowledge. Rather, student contributions are elicited and values as critical. The teacher's primary goal is to coach and facilitate students' learning and overall comprehension of material. The teachers coach and facilitate the learning process. The student learning is measured through both formal and informal form of assessment. It's not only the test that is used to determine whether the student is learning or not. And because in this case we are using both formal and informal form of assessment, we take into consideration of group projects, students participating and classroom participation as well. Group projects, they can be projects that they are doing in the class as well as projects that they are supposed to take home projects or take home assignments. All these things are used to measure the students' learning. More participatory teaching methods include inquiry approach, i.e. investigation, projects, discovery, brainstorming, games, field trip, exhibitions, role plays, invention of solution strategies, and many more. Each teaching method has its unique procedure and advantage and limitations. Several methods can be used in teaching process. So we are going to look at their procedures and their advantages and their limitations. It is the teacher's duty to know which of the methods can best be used at any given instructional period. We are saying that all this, whether more participatory or less participatory, all of them can be used at a particular point in time. So the teacher needs to know when to apply them. You know that some are automatically wrong. In the advanced level, the lecture approach is used, especially when you have large class. I will come to that. So the teacher needs to know all these ones, know which one is appropriate and when to use each of them. So basically, that's the end of this session. This session deals with the less participatory and the more participatory methods of teaching, and we look at the instructions or the teacher's duty in the instructional process. Then active-centered method is preferred. We are saying that normally activity-centered method is preferred more. However, it doesn't mean that every time that should be used, because there are certain methods that can be used at certain point in time. The teacher needs to take control of the instruction. So you are in charge and you know your students better and when to apply this and when to apply that. Thank you and see you there.